All right. Again, players, welcome. Great Division National Championship to the National Academic League for 2025. My name is player. Good luck, players. Here's toss up one all there. Following this regime's end, soldiers created the Republic, Peso, which restricted voting to its warrior caste. Feudal wars were forced by this regime to move residents between their own over to Argent. 6 points to start us off. Puzzle 2. In this author's book, 7th grade, a boy wants to look nice so he can impress a girl at school. So, I suppose, over to Stadia, 6 points on number 2. Number 3. A Mayflower membrane is used in the proton exchange membrane form of these devices, which have lower temperature ranges. Francis Thomas Bacon created the alkaline variety of these devices, which can be used. Nope, I think 2, which can be used to create drinking water. These devices differ from batteries in that they need continuous input of resources. For the points, name these chemical devices that can take oxygen and hydrogen and use redox reactions to produce electricity. Let's make next one. It's also a name one. We're going for specifically fuel cells. Yeah, you said that. You can certainly protest a message. So, and your bus came in when again? Yeah, proton exchange is the first time. I will say, you can certainly protest it, but it specifically says on the direction do not show. Sorry, can we enjoy the scene? Three. If the protest isn't accepted, the next will be overturned. But the other way. So try and follow on. Which I don't think is better reconcile it. We were together on that. Okay, so that my argent is -1 goes bye-bye. Stadius -1 goes bye-bye. So Stadius remaining the 6th. His was the first answer. Yeah. So how many points did Neighbor get? That was 6. All right, so just to recap, see. Got 6, 8. 6. Okay, you're good. No changes. Yeah. And then it can toss up 4. These people alongside alongside traditional writers called Nat, who fought the Shilluk to their north. One leader of this ethnic group was John Garang, who joined the Anyanya rebels and signed a comprehensive peace agreement in 2005 with Omar al-Bashir. No, that's like two. The SPLM has been dominated by these people, leading new Arab leader. Dinka is correct for five. Puzzle five. This artist depicting his patron in a dress with a loaded neckline in a portrait of Isabella Stewart Gardner. A white skirt stands out in a dark shadowy background filled with musicians who place focus on the central flamenco dancer and his artist Don Paleo. The highly is built by this artist shared the Nico started his correct 5 points over to Ipa. Puzzle 6. One form of this process involves clay being moved in a suspension is called lessivage. Soluble materials are moved between soil zones via this process, which differs from alluviation. In agriculture, this process causes loss of this process causes loss of nutrients in soil, though it can also be used for salinity control. For the points in this chemical process in which a solvent causes a solute to be detached from. In which a solvent causes a solute to be detached from its original carrier. Time leaching. Puzzle 7. The Inkari believed that this man periodically returns to avenge his death. This man was executed after a trial in which he was found guilty of murder during the war of two brothers. This man committed that murder to succeed his father, Hyatt Kappa. No? Yes. So into to Arjun P, typed by last syllable of 6. Awesome. 8. The final movement of the symphony with this nickname includes the theme CDFE. Jude, nice buzz over to 6 points on number 8. Number 9. This band showed that Riemannian manifolds can be isometrically embedded Euclidean space in his embedding theorems. A concept made in this man shows that in a non-cooperative game, no player can improve their outcome by changing. Nash is good for 5 over 2. Come on. Number 10, then a full score check. This river's estuary contains an island of Ladrones, which is part of the Wanshan archipelago. This river forms 3 rivers whose names Pearl 6 points to come on. Okay, that's 10. Score check. So no more is correct.
Page 13, Arjun with 1, Naaman with 0.
No, Naaman's the river.
Sorry, yes, I said that. Page with 0, Arjun S, Arjun S with 6, and Savannah
6.
6.
Check. Possible 11. This book series begins with gifts from the protagonist's brother, mother, and best friend, Patrick.
Even lower.
Yes, 6 points over to Arjun S. Number 12. This co-founder of the Niagara movement wrote Black Reconstruction in America. This thinker popularized the phrase called color line and described double consciousness. This authored an essay called The Talented 10, opposed the Atlantic Compromise of Booker T. Washington. Boys is correct for 5 points to Arjun S. 13. In 1945, this man's government established the Democratic Front after liberation from German rule. His party Labor held real power. Declaring a republic, this man imposed a pro-Marxist Bali Umdatar. But by 1978, even China had dropped its alliance with his isolated regime. This anti-religious dictator drove the Prakashin order. That's close enough. Yep. For 5 points over to Nama. So, 14. This author's first article in the Atlanta Journal Sunday magazine detailed an interview with a socialite who witnessed the Italian Revolution. This author's first novella, Lost Laces, was unpublished until 1996. This author's novelette about a white woman in love with a biracial man Roca Carmagan was rejected by the publishing house Macmillan, who accepted a novel by this author without characters such as Ashley Wilkes and Red Butler. For the point, identify this author of the common grin. Mitchell, 3 points. Argentine. 15. This puzzle can be solved using grade codes, and a generalization of this puzzle can be solved by the frame-steward algorithm. The solution to this puzzle, which can be solved using a recursive process. Say again. Yeah, just making sure. That's 5 points over to Stavia off of Powers Club. Annoying. Project. Hey. No. That's how that's last 5 points. Sunday.
Okay, I think it's 17.
Is correct. Or is correct.
And then you make.
Oh, awesome. 16, halfway home. It's not Thomas Malthus, but political scientist Graham Allison argues that this historian's namesake crack ensures that this combobulation is inevitable when a rising power threatens to displace to displace the ruling power. This historian was excused as a military commander and banished for failing to save Amphipolis. Nelian dialogue appears in a work by this historian, which also includes a particularly difficult to translate funeral oration. Thucydides, 5 points to 16. 17. Though she is in love with this character, the artist Madeline is courted by Arthur Bryan. This character flees with the servant Smike after he is given a teaching assignment at Dudley's Hall under the abusive Wackford Squeers. This character defends his sister Kate from Mulberry Hawk, befriended their wealthy but cruel Uncle Ralph. For the point, name this alliterative Charles Dickens title character who supports his family after his father's death. Next one. Times Nicholas Nickleby. Toss 18. A protein library is expressed on the N13 type of these pathogens in namesake display techniques. Bacteriophage is correct for 6 points to stop you off. 18. 19. This program drew criticism from isolationists in Congress being signed in 7711. And this program is effectively controlled by Harry Hopkins. Martha Hesse. Massachusetts Representative John McCormick steered this program through Congress. This program is defended in the Arsenal of Democracy installment of the Fireside Chats. Franklin Lend-Lease is correct. 5 points apart from 19. Here's 20. Next workshop accurate. This individual broke the ancient laws by disguising himself as a homeless man named Fred. And speaking Apollo, yes, Prince, that's 6 points to Archie S. Oh, yeah, it's Apollo. Right. Actually, God. Okay, so I just Convoy is correct. Okay, very close match. Go. 21. Loki Archaeota are associated with 5 of these factors at a location called Loki's Castle. These features produce hydrothermal vents is exactly what we need in 6.9. 22. This god is humiliated after his attempt to punish a village with a flood supported by Krishna holding up a mountain. Ignorant is correct. 6.5. 6. 23. Possible. One painter linked to this movement was Frederick Leighton, who based his work Flaming June on Michelangelo's sculpture. The only female member of this movement to exhibit work was Elizabeth Siddal. This group embraced Tempera and Sandro Botticelli in its quest to revive past eras. I'll take a guess. The pre-Dracula-like brother. It says except PRB. That'll be 5 points over the outline. Pre 24. Gustav Ising claims the linear type of these machines as implemented by Rolf Witterer. A never completed instance of these machines was supposed to be located in Waxahachie and was canceled after around $2 billion had been spent. A circular version of these machines discovered the top batteries. No. No. Particle accelerators is what 5 points to stop them, and there was a negative to Omni and to Argentina. So 5 points to stop it, negative to Omni and Argentina.
What was that? Can you include? Sort of speaking out. Can I just combine all the 17 you'll get next year?
Argentina, Argentina, stop it. Number 1. 3. Coordinates. 3. 7. Instruction.
3, 7.
Slower is correct. Okay, 25. Be careful with this. In the cultural front, historian Michael Denny used this organization to name the left-leaning period of American history from the 1930s to the 1950s. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that this organization's First Amendment rights to free assembly were violated by Jersey City Mayor Frank Page's ban on their public meetings. John L. Lewis was the founding president of, for the point, what conglomerate labor union that merged with the American the CIAS, that's specifically what we needed, that 4 points for RGP. Plus the scores are still here. 26. In this work, a character is born from a stone egg on a flower fruit later birds magic from the immortal Subhuti. That character in this work gains a stack that can journey to the west, 6 points. I like 39. 1 point away. 24. 4 to go. 27. This compound can exist in alpha and beta first in its Utah rotation. Andreas Sigismund Markgraf oversaw the earliest isolation of this molecule from raisins. A hemoglobin A1C test measures, not insulin, measures the level of control of this molecule. HFC or HFCS is sometimes named the isoform of this molecule, which is the most abundant of the monosaccharides. Diabetes is caused by an inability to regulate glucose. Yes, 4 points to Argentina. 28, you have a full score check. Major regions of this island area, the Salmon Plateau and the St. Francois Mountains. Ozark Plateau or Ozark Mountains is 5 for 6 points to the mark. Okay, we have 2 questions to go. Scores check. Good to me.
It's checking what points. And starting the king too.
Check. Okay, 29. One character in this song is asked, you know Claremont Street? After the earlier question, did you hear the news about good old General Mercer? This song claims that the Virginians emerged with the nation's capital before claiming that no one else was in the title location. For the points, name this song from the musical Hamilton about a location where key political decisions are made. Time is the room where it happens with an S. Sorry, the title. Okay, Future on. Score the check. And final toss up. Okay, good luck. You're 30. This political party was founded by Jewish anti-alcohol activist Louis Levin. This political party supported Nathaniel Banks, the only third-party Speaker of the House. In the election of 1856, this party, but no nothing, 6 points.
That is
22, and then get the 5 and 4 at 21. So we've got some unfinished business the arches. All right, this spring is the shinier black. All right. Okay, only for those named arches. Good luck. Toss it. Remember, tiebreakers for our new rules, okay? A flagship vessel of this country called the Vasa quickly sank. And I've seen it Margin S, 5th place, and on the 6th place. Congratulations. And top of that. Second and third and the other prizes from the converse. Okay. Five. Wait right now and then bring everything else up. Okay. All right, so coming up over here in 6th place, translations to Ladies. And 5th place, Artemis. Place going to stop that's okay, second place going to Holland. And international champion. We'll be very happy that you're in protection. All right. All right, congratulations, great job. All three. Top three, all coached by Coach Turn. That's not